25 credit repair secrets. This is part 11. Thank you so much for joining. My name is credit coach Nicole Scott in part 11 of the 25 credit repair secrets series. I am covering how to contact the credit bureaus. So if you are in the process of repairing your credit, disputing things on your credit, or even starting a credit repair business, you are in the right place. Make sure that you have subscribed to the channel and watch all of the 25 videos in the 25 credit repair secrets playlist. Everything is in the description of the video. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, if you are like many others and you are in the process of disputing things on your credit, you're probably going to notice, hey, there's some standard dispute addresses listed on the credit bureau's website where I should send in my standard dispute letters. But if you watch me, there is nothing standard about us credit pros. So what you want to do is take it a step further and turn it up just a notch. We're going to be reaching out to their legal department. Their legal department is a different address than their standard dispute address. Now, we want to cover all of our bases. So what you want to do is you're going to be sending two different envelopes, right? But the same dispute letter. But in each envelope, we're going to include our dispute letter, which you can easily draft up and list out the account name, the account number. If it's inquiry, it's going to be the inquiry name and the inquiry date, okay? The reason why you are disputing it can be vague. Hey, this is an error. And the resolution that you want. Block this from my credit report, delete this from my credit report, right? But keep it simple. It doesn't need to be anything, fancy at this point. In addition to that dispute letter, we want to attach a copy of our social security card, a copy of our photo ID. It can be state ID, driver's license, or passport. It just has to be a photo ID. And you also want to include proof of address that has been dated within the last 30 days. This can be a utility bill. It can be any sort of statement that they can see, okay, this is dated recently. This has your correct name and your correct address on it, okay? Then we want to send those certified mail return receipts. So you might have to go to the post office. If you're tech savvy, there's some few places online that you can send online. Now, do I recommend sending online? Probably not. I know, there are a lot of ways to save with automations and different tools online, but the credit system is very old school. So in this case, we want to do what works best for these type of situations, which is old school. Walk into the post office and request that good old green card with the return receipt. All right, we're going to send these via certified mail return receipt. And what you can do is if you plan to do this often, just grab a few green cards and bring them home so that way you can have them filled out next time you go and do this process. Now, if this is your round 1 or if this is your round 5, you're going to treat it the same every round. Every single round will require those proof documents, proof of address, proof of ID, photo ID, and most importantly, a copy of your social security card and any additional supporting documents that you might have that can help prove your claim. So if you have a letter from the credit tour, you have a FTC report, you have some other supporting documentation, include a copy of that every single time you mail this in. And I know it might seem redundant and God, why do I need to do it? I just sent them something. Well, that's how their system is. You don't want to take any risks of them ignoring you or not being able to validate who you are. So just send in those proof documents with every single letter. Now, there are multiple ways that you can contact the credit bureaus. Mail is just one of many. There's also the good old phone call. Now, with the phone call, here's a quick hack. Call in as a customer. Companies always want to help customers. The credit bureaus do not consider consumers customers, okay? If you call into their membership line, you can get a live agent on the phone and then get asked to transfer over to the fraud department, because the fraud department deals with disputes and they're also able to actually get things corrected off your credit report. So it's a win-win situation. Now, the one thing that I do like about Experian is they have what's called an upload. If you visit Experian.com/upload, you can see right here, you just have to fill out this information and the next page is actually going to take you to where you can upload files from your computer and submit them right online. So that way it's a lot faster. You can make a phone call about 48 hours after you have submitted something online to follow up with it. I do recommend calling in and speaking to the fraud department. That way you can let them know, hey, I spoke with you the other day. I uploaded all of the documents that you asked me to. Please verify that you received them. And I want to make sure that you get my file processed within the proper time frame. Now, if you've been a victim of identity theft, by law, you have 4 days. Okay, so that is a little bit more pressing of a situation than your standard dispute. If you have been a victim of trafficking, that is also a 4-day law where they have 4 days to block that information from your credit report so it does not come back on there. So Experian.com/upload, that's one of the fastest ways to upload your documents. If you are not able to do so, no big deal. Print everything out and mail it to both their standard dispute address, and they actually also have this cool little printable mail form that you can use as well, and it has their address right there, the P.O. Box 4500 in Allen, Texas. So this is all connected inside of the guide as well. So all of these links are in here, so that way you don't have to go around searching for them. So if you want to purchase the guide that has all of the 25 plus credit repair secrets outlined with all of the resources, comment the word guide and I will send you exclusive access. This is also included inside of my credit community. So if you are a member of the credit community, you will have access to this right underneath the classroom section inside of our school group. And you'll see right here, here is the credit repair secrets. And you'll also have access to all of the other previously recorded videos, master classes. So we're not like other communities where once you join, you have to pay extra to watch some of these master classes. All of our master classes are fully accessible to all of our members. There's no upsells, there's no secrets, there's no gatekeeping for sure. We also have live calls 3 times a month where you can ask questions and I'm happy to help in any way that I can. Now, let's get back to the good stuff here. So we've talked about mail. We've talked about certified mail return receipt. Here is where it gets good. Now, this is the legal address. Everywhere you look online where it says, hey, what's the address to dispute with Experian? You're always going to get that 4500 Allen, Texas. What they don't want you to know, and here's where it gets good, all of the credit bureaus have a legal department. And this is where you want to send your disputes if you want to get their attention. If your plan is to go through arbitration, if they do not comply, which I highly recommend, and arbitration is inside of this 25-part series, you just have to watch the whole playlist. I've actually tagged the playlist below in the description. So if you want to watch the entire playlist, please do so. It's here for you guys to learn and get this information so you can get faster results and meet your goals quicker. Now, this is the legal address. It's a completely different address. So this is actually in Costa Mesa, California. You'll see it right here. Screenshot that, write it down, pause this video, because this is the address that you're going to want to send a dispute and let them know if they continue to, willfully non-comply with your request, that you will be proceeding with either litigation or arbitration. If I were you, I'd probably go the arbitration route. It depends on the severity of your case, of course, and I'm not a legal person. I don't give legal advice. This is for educational and informational purposes only, but you can contact a lawyer, and we have multiple videos on how to do that inside the playlist as well. And inside the guide, I give you guys an actual website where you can find consumer attorneys that don't charge you until they get paid, until they get the results. All right. But that is their legal department that you want to send certified mail return receipt to both addresses. Now, you might be asking yourself, oh, Nicole, isn't that redundant? Sometimes you have to be very redundant with the credit bureaus until you get the results that you need. You have to be very aggressive with them because they use a computer system, and a lot of times they simply just ignore most requests. So this is a great way to get their attention and say, hey, do I have your attention now? Because if you don't comply with the law, I am going to proceed with arbitration, and I'm going to be, requesting $1,000 per violation plus damages and costs associated with this whole debacle. If you are going to be doing the same thing with, say, Equifax, this applies, same concept. Here is Equifax's legal address. They even have a phone number listed. Now, they're always changing their phone numbers because once this information gets out to the public, they get flooded, okay? But again, I'm not gatekeeping around here. I give you the information that you need to know, not what you want to hear, because if you knew better, you would do better. And that way you don't have to pay somebody for something that you can totally do yourself. In fact, I always tell people the best person to repair your credit is you, because you know the situation and you can keep up with everything. I know we're busy. I know we all have our own lives and we want to just hand it off to somebody else for them to do it because it's so much easier. But again, I'm someone that, repairs credit. I'm someone that helps people. And, coming from me, I'm telling you guys, if you learn this information, it's going to be a lot better for you to do it. Now, if you do want someone to help you, book a call with me and I'll see what I can do for you. I can't help everyone. There's been several people that have paid for credit repair for years and then call me and say, hey, I haven't gotten any results from these people. And I tell them, hey, I don't think you're going to be able to get away from those type of things, so I give people realistic expectations and a game plan on what to do moving forward, depending on what their goals are, where they're at with everything, and what's ultimately going to work best for them, funding wise, time wise, and just all around a better solution. And of course, it might not be the answer that we all want to hear, but it's about time that you speak with someone who's going to give it to you real, raw, and uncut, because there's no BSing around here. I don't want your money if I can't truly help you. That's the difference between me and everybody else that you watch on YouTube. I'm not here to sell you credit repair. I'm here to educate you, give you the information, because information is the new gold. They don't teach this stuff in high school. They don't teach this stuff in college. I teach this on YouTube University, and I appreciate you guys so much for watching. Now, please do me a favor. Give me a huge thumbs up. Leave me a comment below if you want to join the credit community. I highly recommend it. Now, we've covered Equifax. We've covered Experian. I love Experian Upload, by the way. And I wish there were an upload for TransUnion and Equifax that was that easy, but unfortunately, there's just not. Now, they do have Equifax and TransUnion, that is. They do have an online portal. So you can upload to their online portal, but sometimes, I've had people that have had issues with it. Go ahead and try it. Sign up. It's a free account and you can go through the dispute process, and then it gives you the opportunity to upload supporting documents. And at that point, you can upload just as if whatever you were mailing to them, create a PDF file and upload the documents, the dispute letter and your proof documents right then and there. Now, we still want to send certified mail return receipt because unfortunately we don't have a receipt really of, the upload process. At least we don't with Experian. You might get some sort of confirmation with Equifax and TransUnion, but we still want to send in a copy of our letters. And what I like to do is I like to keep a binder or a file of what I sent them, and then I attach the return certificate or the return receipt that I get back in the mail, the green card. I attach that to the letters that I sent them. So that way I'm building a case against them in regards to, whatever the situation may be. But you have to have your paper trail in order if you want to go through arbitration, and you have to have everything documented. These are the steps that I took. Here's the proof that I did so, right? Here's the proof that this was on my credit report this month and this month and this month due to their error, So you really have to document it, but it's very simple to do. And a lot of times, the credit bureaus, they don't want to go through litigation. They don't want to go through arbitration because they know they're wrong. So they would much rather settle this outside of the courts. And you can still request a monetary relief from them if they made violations. So if you are requesting that they pay you per violation, it is up to $1,000 per FCRA violation, or if they have violated the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, or if a collection company has, again, that's violations. And we cover a lot of that inside of this series. But back to the subject at hand here, I've given you guys also the account for you to create your free account, to call Equifax, and most importantly, they have this little dispute forum just like Experian. Well, not most importantly, but I don't want to leave them out, right? They have this dispute forum just like Experian does, and it could be helpful for some people that, don't want to draft a letter, but it's kind of, just a template form. And you can even attach this to the top. And, what I like to personally do is write a handwritten cover letter and then just use ChatGPT. I like to use the law version and state case law inside of my dispute letters to them. So they know I'm not messing around, and they know that I know that they done fucked up, right? Messed up. But this is the standard dispute form for Equifax. So these are the ways to contact them. Again, when you are contacting them and going through their automated service, I know we're all looking to speak to a human, but again, they don't want to help consumers. They want to help customers. So we act as a customer, or we become a customer to get help through the process. And in some cases, it's better to become a customer because they're going to want to help you. They have to help you, right? And they will be more than willing to transfer you over to the fraud department so that way you can get them to assist you. Again, get a person on the phone from customer service or membership and then just have them transfer you to the fraud department. And treat this like a full-time job. Call every single day until you get the results that you desire. You can do this with inquiries, accounts, bankruptcies, personal information, whatever is listed on your credit report. You can call in and have them corrected. And if they are requesting additional documentation from you, which, sometimes they might because it's over the phone and they're not able to confirm you are who you say you are, especially if you've been a victim of ID theft. Anyone can be calling saying that they're you, right? So they might ask you to send it in. Again, we want to send everything in, certified mail return receipt, so we can have that paper trail. And then last but not least is my good old buddies at TransUnion. All right. Now, TransUnion, they are, I would say, a little bit more challenging to deal with, okay, especially over the phone. But TransUnion has a few options that might work for you. Number one is their website has a chat feature. Now, the chat feature is not always available, and you'll notice that when you head on over to their website, transunion.com, you can contact them on social media. Pretty cool, right? So it says right here, hey, contact us on Facebook, contact us on Twitter, or X as they call it now. Here are our messages. So you can get help on social media from TransUnion. Isn't that awesome? They also have this live chat feature on their website right here. So you can chat with them right on the website. If you have been a victim of identity theft, or you have a mixed credit file, meaning your identity has been exposed, you definitely want to sign up for their identity protection plan. Because look, this is actually a new program right here. And if you guys sometimes we have to think outside of the box, all right? Now, get creative. It says right here, TransUnion Identity Protection provides 24/7 support, while dedicated restoration specialists deliver fully managed restoration services during the hours below. So you're basically getting a restoration rep that can help you through the process. So this is going to be a much easier way to get everything sorted out and have someone that you can actually have at TransUnion that can help you. Now, of course, this is not a free service, it's a paid service. But again, I am all about being a paid member while I'm going through the process to get faster results. Because again, these companies want to help customers. They don't want to help consumers. Consumers cost them money. So we have to become the customer sometimes. So that's another really great hack with regard to TransUnion. They also have a free online portal as well, service.transunion.com. You can sign up for a free online account with them. Now, if you have seen my video in regards to the TransUnion hack, it worked many years ago, and honestly it's still working. And I didn't really include that in the 25-part series, so here's kind of like a bonus. Inside of the credit kit there is a letter that has the verbiage on what you would need to put, and basically you would just select something is under litigation. A lot of people can go through Credit Karma and do this. It only works with TransUnion. It doesn't really work with the other bureaus, although you're more than welcome to try it. But you can select that. Sometimes it'll say under, litigation. Sometimes it might not have the word litigation. You can thank me for that. I'm sorry. But if it does, select litigation. If it doesn't, just select other. Sometimes people are able to use Credit Karma and it works perfectly fine. And sometimes others have to be rerouted to TransUnion's actual website, which is just this right here. But you're going to want to go to service.transunion.com, just like so, and you can create a free account right online with TransUnion and then go through the dispute process online with them. Now, pros and cons to that is you can only have one dispute open at a time with TransUnion. So if you already have a dispute open with them, it will not allow you to open up an additional dispute online, or at least that's the way it is right now and has been for quite some time. Things are always changing, but I can only give you the info as of the time of the video, right? So those are some great tips there. Their general address is just going to be their P.O. Box 2000 in Chester, Pennsylvania. And they also have their request for reinvestigation. So these forms are pretty helpful because what this does is basically tells the credit bureau that you are a real person that's disputing this information, not a credit repair organization, because they actually really want to help consumers get this processed, but they don't like credit repair organizations. So I would recommend, including this and using it as kind of like a cover letter, right? Because anytime you hand write something, it's going to be a lot harder for their eOscar system to process handwriting, especially if you're writing in cursive. The eOscar system's not necessarily going to be able to read and translate that handwriting. It can easily translate a typed letter because it just converts that to, OCR, and it reads it right into the system. And sometimes it'll just give you an automated response. I'm sure that we've all received those. Or you might get one of those auto responses saying, hey, we got something. We don't think it's from you. We think you're using credit repair. So we're just going to ignore your request, basically. We don't want that. We want them to process our request. So handwriting a cover letter using AI to draft the letter, it's very easy and simple. You can also use these forms that they have, and they're all linked inside of the guide here. And that way, it's just a simple, cover letter as well. And then you can attach your dispute letter, because you just have to print it out again. It's already drafted. You're just going to change Dear TransUnion, Dear Experian, Dear Equifax, rinse and repeat, right? But they have their standard PO box, which of course, these standard addresses are all of the addresses that you're going to see on, hey, return this form to this address, right? Even with Experian, I don't have that one open. Same thing here. Send your request to this address. Mind you, there's no note of them providing you with their legal department's address. So it's not like they want to advertise this information. But if you are going to be sending it, you might as well go hard, right? Go all in. And I'm telling you, this is how you get the results faster. Certified mail return receipt to the dispute address, certified mail return receipt to their legal address. All right. And use case law inside of your letters to let them know, hey, I know you had bad blood in this case and it cost you millions and it was due to the same thing that I'm dealing with. Do you really want that same smoke? Because I know that, this happened and you can get into some big trouble with this. I actually just posted something inside of the community on case law and how to go about doing that. So if you haven't by now, join the credit community, guys, because that's really where all of this information is. I have all of my courses, all of my ebooks, everything is inside of the community. So, most importantly, you have to take action. You have to spend the time to learn. While you're at work, have your headphones in. While you're driving, listen to the replays. Utilize the time that you are able to listen and learn and multitask, because eventually you're going to start picking up on these things. You're going to start getting, hey, I got results. I'm fired up now. I know it works. I just got to keep at it, keep on their necks, keep on their helmets, because I got to make it happen. All right. My name is Credit Coach Nicole Scott. Thank you so much for watching. This was part 11 of the 25-part series. I have the entire playlist listed below. Everything is inside of the credit community. If you want the guide, comment the word guide or visit the description and the guide is ready for you to download, my friends. You have to take action, and I'll see you next time.